For my week 5 food presentation, I chose to try paella from Spain. The history of paella. Paella is a Spanish cuisine coming from Valencia, which is in eastern Spain, and it is one of the largest natural ports in the Mediterranean and produces a large amount of rice in Spain. Paella was originally farmers and farm laborers' food, and it was cooked by the workers over a wood fire, and it was served for lunch almost every day. This was like a tradition for farmers, and they would just have this for lunch basically every day. Traditionally, paella was eaten straight from the pan in which it was cooked with a wooden spoon. So, right when the paella is finished cooking, it is just taken off the stove. It is still in the hot pan and then eaten with a wooden spoon. Today, there are many different variations of the dish, and the true mixture of paella is paella Valenciana, which is a mixture of rice, chicken, rabbit, snails, and green and white beans. Any other additional ingredients may be added, but that is the original mixture. Also, it is with saffron, which is an expensive, high end spice that just makes the dish have that really good taste. The nutrient composition of paella: 1 cup of traditional paella is around 442 calories, with 22 grams of fat, 34 carbohydrates, and 35 grams of protein. This is from Nutrinix. And 202 of the calories come from fat, which mostly is from the chorizo and chicken that is in this particular traditional paella. And most of the calories in paella are from the rice in the shrimp, chicken, and chorizo, which also give the dish a lot of protein and the carbohydrates. Many of the vegetables that are added provide various vitamins and nutrients, such as like the green beans that are used, peppers and onions, and we'll get more into that later. The lemon in the dish also allows paella to be a good source of vitamin C, and then the peppers and onions provide vitamin A and vitamin D, which this also came from Nutrinix. This dish actually does have some preventatives towards human diseases. There are many beneficial ingredients in paella that provide many vitamins and nutrients. Specifically, the beans and the vegetables are full of nutrients and rich in fiber. The beans are very effective in preventing cardiovascular diseases and diabetes. Paella that is made with seafood helps reduce cholesterol and improves our vision and also makes our skin pretty healthy. The fresh seafood in the dish have a lot of great benefits that some people don't know about. And I read about this in the health benefits of paella with seafood that you don't know. How this dish may cause human diseases: because of the large amount of seafood that is used in particular paellas, allergies may be unseen. And if you do eat this paella with a shellfish allergy, it's important to go see a doctor if you see any symptoms. Some ingredients in the paella specifically can lead to serious illnesses, and a shellfish allergy can trigger um, anaphylactic shock, which has many signs and uncomfortable symptoms such as like uh, diarrhea, shortness of breath, things like that. Individuals with seafood and shellfish allergies should be very careful when ordering paella and make sure that there is no cross contamination or seafood in the dish. Individuals with these type of allergies can try a different type of paella served with chicken, maybe like chorizo and vegetables. There are many different variations, and they could definitely try this dish, but they should be careful if they're allergic to anything. How to know if this dish contains fresh ingredients? There are many variations of paella that contain fresh and high quality ingredients. Seafood paella made in Spain has fresh shrimp, mussels, and clams. The seafood would smell and taste fresh when it comes from a high quality source. When eating the paella, you can just smell the fishiness of it, and the texture will be fresh. Vegetable paella contains fresh tomatoes, peppers, onions, chickpeas, carrots, and beans. The ingredients will be bright and colorful if they are fresh, and they will have an earthy smell to it, which also you can just tell by when you cook it, if it cooks correctly, and when you eat it, if it just like smells and tastes normal, or if you just get your produce and seafood and all that from like a good source. Agriculture information of paella. Valencia, Spain, where paella originated, is a growing region for rice. When early paellas were formed, rice farmers overlapped with the market gardening, causing many vegetables to be added to the dish. So back in the day when this dish was being formed, They realized that the time that rice was cooked was also the season that vegetables were growing and all that. So they just decided to add that to the dish, which is pretty interesting, I thought. Many of the ingredients in paella are available year round, which allows this dish to be available for most any time they want. Especially in Spain, paella is the freshest when the vegetables and the rice are grown there, and the seafood is caught directly from the Mediterranean Sea or the Atlantic Ocean. Fresh ingredients from a local, sustainable source are the best way to prepare paella. If you want to try it in somewhere else other than Spain, getting your ingredients from a local source is the best way. How to prepare the dish. Preparing paella is relatively simple after deciding what ingredients you want to be added into your paella. Begin by putting your paella pan over medium high heat and add a little bit of olive oil. Start by cooking any meat or seafood you want in the dish. Cook it until it's like how you want it, and then chop up all the vegetables while that is cooking. And then once it's cooked, add all the vegetables with some garlic, any spices. That saffron's a good option. And if you're looking for the authentic traditional taste, definitely add the saffron. Even though it's a little bit more expensive, it will definitely make the dish all that better. Next, add water and bring it to a simmer for about 20 minutes, just to cook all of the vegetables and meat and all that together. Now you add the rice and wait for that to cook. This is like the last step. It takes about 20 minutes and then it's ready to eat. You can tell it's ready to eat when you can like prick it with a fork or a spoon, and it's like all mixed together. There's no like excess juices or anything like that. And enjoy it hot, straight from the pan. Top it with any extra spices to your liking. By that I just mean like some pepper or that saffron. It is not traditional to add any like hot sauce or anything like that. That just won't make it to that authentic taste. So keep it to a minimum with the spices. How I enjoyed tasting this dish. I really enjoyed tasting it for the first time. I thought it was bursting with flavor, and I loved how colorful it was with all of the vegetables and the seafood and the rice. I had a seafood version of the dish with rice, shrimp, peppers, onions, tomatoes, green beans, parsley, and lemon on top. The taste was a cross between earthy and fishy because all of the vegetables and the shrimp. I personally love plain shrimp and rice, so adding all the vegetables and cooking in a pan and season it perfectly was even more delicious. The rice absorbed all of the flavors and juices, specifically from the tomato, making it a main part of the paella. A unique culture way people eat paella is straight out of the pan with a wooden spoon. I ate my paella from the pan, and it was cooked in, and it was very good. Here's some pictures of traditional paella. You can see there's a shrimp one with jumbo shrimp and lemon on top. The lemon is great source of vitamin C, and you can see all the vegetables, and it's very, very colorful. And in the middle, that is very traditional with the wooden spoon and the hot pan and all that. And then there's another one with some mussels in it, more seafood. Those all look very good. Here's the one I tasted. And then social and cultural perspective and experiences. When I tried paella for the first time, I learned a lot about the culture of Valencia, Spain, and compare my social and cultural experience with those of the people in Spain. The history being this dish and the social aspect is similar to the dishes we have in America. People gather in masses to eat paella, specifically on Sundays, similar to how we have barbecues and potlucks in the US. And this came from a source with the author's last name being Izzy. I have many experiences where food has brought people together and has spread positivity, and I can tell from learning more about this paella that it has that effect on the Spanish culture. It brings people together to eat a meal and be in each other's presence, whether it's catching the seafood or growing the vegetables to go into the dish, or simply eating the final product after it's cooked. This dish provides a cultural experience for everyone who tries it. Here are my references for each slide. And that is it. Thank you.